On the putting green that you've ever seen. Hence our tagline, you just became a better golfer. A little bit of a background, the company was formed in 2009 by myself and Steve Colton. Next to me was a VP of Finance. In late 2010, we approached the company Noonan, who owned all the IP, and we came to an agreement to purchase that IP from them. The rest of the management team includes Doug Defoe, who is not only the inventor of the ball, but our technical director, and a entrepreneur addict, as well as a seasoned CEO, Keith Blakely. We were also fortunate enough to grab the eye and attention of Roberto Clemente Jr. You probably know his name from his father and himself playing baseball. He's also an avid golfer, and besides his $1 million smile, he's a great fit because he loves the ball. He heard about the opportunity, played with it, and it's been hook, line, and sinker ever since. Our IP, well, currently we have 3 U.S.-issued patents. With the consumer sporting goods product market being as competitive as it is, we think that we have a very strong IP position with these 3 patents. I've talked to several of you at the booth and you've asked about USGA legality. Well, let me just put that to rest. We did have it approved before. You have to resubmit every year. But our ball does conform to every single one of the 5 definable metrics that determine a ball's legality. So we do expect a favorable decision upon resubmission at the end of this month. Now for the start of the show, we've got the Omen. It's bad news for the competition. It's a little ominous, I know, but it's sexy. So, the outside is a 432 dimple pattern. This is to get the lift and distance needed. The outside for durability and longevity of this product is a strong ionomer cover. Underneath that is what's called the mantle layer. We use a high-performance polymer layer which maximizes the energy transfer between the club face and the metallic core. And then the old saying that's what's on the inside that counts, well, it really rings true with our product. That's the high-strength proprietary metallic core, and this is what allows the ball to do what it does, which is help you become a better golfer and shave strokes off of your game. Benefits. Well, the design is extremely sophisticated, but the concept is really quite simple. By shifting the weight to the outside of the ball, all you're doing is reducing the hooking and slicing. You can pick up a figure skater when her leg is out, side spin decreases. When it's in, it increases. As for the putting green, think about a wide track tire. Rather than the ball rolling over in itself when the green breaks, it has wide balance, it has better balance. The result, well, this is our robotic testing data. Basically, we took the Omen, we put it against the Pro V1s, we put it against the NXT Tour balls, 2 of the top balls, and on average, we saw a 30% improvement on dispersion off the tee. This means less time in the woods and water trying to find your ball, and more time enjoying the outside and time with your friends. The market opportunity is enormous. Every year in the U.S. alone, there's a $700 million annual golf ball sales in the worldwide. We're talking about $1.2 billion. Obviously, the major brands right now are the ones that really hold all the market share, but we're not trying to go head-to-head with them. We're not trying to take over Titleist. We're trying to speak to 98% of that golf demographic, which is the amateur golfer, and most of those people just want to have fun and look good doing it. Frank Thomas was the former USGA technical director. For 26 years, he said that this is the most radical advancement in golf ball technology in the last 50 years, and also said he believes it's the future of golf. Those are his words, not mine. Let's not argue and leave it at that. We think by positioning this product, the Omen, as a premium product at a competitive price, it's an absolute recipe for success. You're talking about an MSRP of $33.95 a dozen, compared to a Pro V1 at $45 a dozen. And if you have the money, be my guest and pay $60 for the Nike 20XI, which isn't going to play as well as ours. Our marketing strategies include Facebook, Twitter, online blogs, partnerships and endorsements with professional athletes. We've already got Temerce Lane as a female spokesperson who is a soccer player, Roberto Clemente Jr., Rick Barry, one of the all-time great NBA players. And as of 2 hours ago, we spoke. I just got off the phone with Chichi Rodriguez, who is a golf legend and icon. And to paraphrase him, he said, "Your ball does what he says, and I did all the Omen." I know I sound a little bit more like the French Robert De Niro, but I'm not an actor. The golf events, of course we're going to use those. Tournaments, charities. In fact, our entire summer is booked with both non-celebrity and celebrity charity events. Trade shows, of course we'll be doing those. The PGA show. Media, we're going to stay relevant by being in the television, online news, newspaper, magazine, blogs, radio, you name it, we'll be in it. Sales and distribution will be initial emphasis on direct sales. We have a pro shop available on the website right now. We'll sell the ball at events that we are sponsors for. We've already been talking with big box retailers and major chains, so things like Greengrass Pro Shops, Golf Galaxy, Dick's, Walmart, and Target.
Thank you, Brett. My name is Steve Colton. You're a tough act to follow, Brett. You're very good. I'm going to talk about our manufacturing strategy. We have a manufacturer in place, domestic. Their production capacity is roughly 300,000 dozen, and that would take us to 10 million in sales. Now, beyond that, we can add second and third shifts. We could also invest in additional equipment. And they're making the ball exclusive for us to our specifications. We also have a supply contract in place, which I think is the important thing here, for under $13 a dozen. So the economics are definitely favorable. Key financial elements, Brett mentioned that we have an MSRP of 33. Now these prices, the average selling price of 28 to 30 is, we're allowing for some early discounting, to encourage the early adoption of it. And as I also mentioned, we have production costs under $13 a dozen. So we're looking at gross margins of close to 60%. Those margins fuel the break even at 40,000 dozen, which we think is pretty quick. 40,000 dozen is 1.2 million in sales. Another way of putting it, for every 600 dozen that our competitors sell, we just need to sell 1 dozen. Projected financial performance. The numbers may be hard to read here, but the takeaway is pretty simple. Year 3, we're looking at revenues of $24 million. We got an operating income of $7.7 million, or EBITDA of $7.7 million. That would take us to a fair market valuation of between $30 and $40 million. And that's why we're excited to be here today. We think that's a phenomenal opportunity, and that leads me into the opportunity. Sorry. So we're offering 800,000 shares, preferred series AA, $1 a share. That gives you 44% ownership in our company. We also think that's very attractive terms. As far as the use of proceeds go, we need financing for the initial inventory of golf balls, for the packaging, and to execute on all the things Brett mentioned about the promotions, the marketing, the advertising. So that's why we're here today. We need those funds. And the monetization and exit options. It's the final slide. There's a number of options. We can remain independent, distribute profits to our shareholders. Net profits, cumulative years 1 through 3, should be enough to distribute roughly $5 a share in dividends. We can also license or private label the technology with another ball manufacturer. Or finally, we can merge, publicly list, or sell the business to another organization, and we think that's probably the most likely outcome, would be selling the business to a Nike, to a Titleist, to a Callaway. But we want to keep all our options open. Thanks for listening, guys. It's a great venture.
Thank you.